Losing weight can be super overwhelming if you just don't know where to start. So today I'm going to share with you exactly how you can lose the weight you want to lose without dieting and without crazy hours of exercise. There is a whole industry out there making it 10 times more confusing than it needs to be. And the truth is, the steps to losing weight are actually quite simple. However, in saying that, you still do need the right systems if you plan to make it work long term. Going in blind by just trying to eat a little bit healthier and exercise more is usually not the answer to lasting weight loss for most of us. Why? Because most of us need a lot more than just healthy food options. If it was that easy, would we not already be doing it? Losing weight and then keeping it off for good involves learning how to listen to your body. And it involves interpreting what it's saying and then being able to act accordingly. That is essentially what we teach our clients. But in this video, I'm going to teach you the first 3 things that you can get started with, things that are so simple that literally anyone can do them. No more wondering what's gonna work for you. No more feeling overwhelmed at where to begin. No more worrying about past diets that you've been on that didn't work. And no more wondering if your body is broken. Today, we're gonna deep dive into what really works for weight loss and how you can get started right away. Let's start with point number 1. The number 1 most effective weight loss technique that is 10 times more effective than any diet, but that no one ever pays attention to. And that is eat when you're physically hungry. Our bodies naturally know how much we need to eat. Yet most of us, usually because of so many diets and so much diet industry BS, are conditioned to not listen to ourselves and to not listen to what our bodies want. Instead, most of us tend to eat out of habit because it's breakfast time or it's our lunch break. And the other reason we tend to eat is usually emotionally focused. We eat to either avoid feeling a certain way or to feel a certain way. For example, eating when you're bored, sad, lonely, tired, angry, or even when you're happy. You will start losing weight when you start tuning into your natural hunger signals, because you will finally be eating the right amount of food for your body and what it needs. And don't be afraid of being slightly hungry. So many of us have this fear, often a subconscious fear, that we need to eat so that we don't feel hungry later. We're scared of what we'll do and how much we'll eat if we feel hungry. It's so important to look into this fear of hunger and try to reframe it and remind yourself that feeling a little bit hungry is not the end of the world and you're not going to die if you feel hungry. One way to reframe this is, instead of saying, I feel starving, just tell yourself, I feel a little bit hungry, because that's the truth. You're not really starving. Starving is when you haven't eaten in days or weeks. And did you know, as humans, we can actually survive a month or more without food? So hunger is really not the emergency that we think it is. Now, one way to monitor your hunger signals and decide when it's time to start and stop eating is by using the hunger scale. This is such a fantastic tool and one that we use with our clients as well. And I'm just drawing an example of the hunger scale right here. When we start eating, when we feel hungry, we wait till we feel a little bit of hunger at -2. And we stop eating when we feel just satisfied at +2 before we feel overfull. That is when weight loss will happen. As a side note, when you stop eating at this point as well, you'll also feel so much less uncomfortable and bloated, because usually when we feel like that after eating, it means that we've eaten past that point of feeling satisfied and we've eaten to the point of feeling full. And I encourage you to be curious about the thoughts and the feelings that come up when you do feel hungry, because this curiosity really is key in losing weight as well, because we can then start to actually go, oh, okay, maybe hunger isn't as bad as I thought it was, and maybe I'm not feeling hungry right now and I don't need to eat. Try experimenting if you wait a little bit longer than normal to eat and see what happens, see what thoughts and feelings come up. And at the end of the day, you can ask yourself, what is the worst that's going to happen if I wait a little bit longer and feel a little bit more hungry today? The second thing to implement to start losing weight this week is a ridiculously easy eating technique that promotes weight loss, improves digestion, and eliminates stomach bloating. And that is to eat slowly. Really try to make a conscious effort to slow down when eating. Such a simple thing, yet most of us won't ever do it. It's actually crazy to me how much this really does influence your weight loss, because weight loss comes down to really being aware and conscious of what we're putting in our mouth and how we're eating. And eating slowly and mindfully is the number one way to get there. One way you can start implementing this right away today is start taking deep breaths in between your bites while you're eating, and put your cutlery down instead of just holding it in your hands the whole time. And take little sips of water while you're eating as well. All of these things can encourage us to eat slower, because it's so easy to start eating and just keep putting the food in our mouth. While we're chewing, we're already getting the next bite ready. And unfortunately, this just makes us eat really fast, and it actually takes your brain 20 minutes to recognize that your stomach is full. So if you're eating fast, you could quite easily eat double the amount of food that your body needs without even realizing it until later on. Another thing that stops us from eating slowly is eating while distracted. So if you can, try to minimize distractions, like scrolling on your phone or working at your computer or watching TV. All of these things encourage us to eat mindlessly because we're distracted by whatever's going on around us. And it's quite easy for us to, again, eat double the amount of food that we need without even realizing it. And the final strategy to start eating slower is to actually stop and pause at the halfway point of your meal. What this does is it allows you to check in with yourself, which can be super valuable when you're listening to your hunger signals and trying to eat mindfully. Ask yourself at this point if you're truly still hungry. And ask yourself how fast you've been eating and what's your experience of the meal been so far. If you have been eating super fast, that's fine. Now is your chance to start slowing down and really start listening to your body again. And at this halfway point, you might even realize that you've had enough and you can stop eating at that point. But it can be really valuable to check in with yourself like that regularly while you're eating, because so many of us never do this. That's how overeating can quickly become a habit that we don't even realize we're doing until half an hour later when we're feeling bloated and wondering why. Now let's get into the third and final strategy to start losing weight today, and that is to start walking more. And I'm going to share with you the truth about 10,000 steps and whether it really matters for weight loss. Steps can be incredibly important for weight loss because a big chunk of weight loss is how much you're moving each day versus how much food you're eating. So if you're eating the same amount of food and you start moving more, then you're going to start losing weight. Now, when it comes to 10,000 steps a day, that can be a fantastic number to aim for. However, for a lot of people, that is just too high. And if you're not there yet, I'm telling you right now, you do not need to aim for 10,000 steps. Aim for whatever you can do on a consistent basis. Always start where you're at and always look at what is a small thing that I can do today. What is doable for me? What am I confident that I can follow through on? And for you, that might be a 5 or 10 minute walk. That's okay. And if you're at the point of walking for an hour or more, then that's great too. Just do what you can today. And the key is to have a plan that you build up over time. There's no point going from 0 walking to 6 days a week, 2-hour walks, because that's just unrealistic and it's highly likely that you're not going to follow through on that plan. Focus on following through on your plan consistently, and then later on you can make the plan more intense and consider walking for longer and walking more often. And don't forget that incremental movement adds up so much more than so many people think. Those little steps when you're either taking the stairs instead of the lift, or you're walking to the shops, parking a little bit further away, or even just walking around your house when you're cleaning it. these little bits of movement really do add up. You don't always have to go out for a massive walk in one hit. You can think about how you can add up little bits over the day. If you can't walk outside, or if it's raining, or whatever reason you can't walk outside, that is okay. There are actually so many walking workout videos on YouTube, completely free, that you can pop on your TV and do in your living room, and you don't even need that much space. And these workouts can be really fun, and they can be really, really valuable for weight loss if you're not someone who's going to go walk outside or on a treadmill. I really just can't emphasize enough how valuable walking can be for weight loss. And not only will it help you lose weight, but you'll also feel better if you walk and move more in general. Walking can help clear your head, it can help improve your mobility, and it can really improve your general health. And I encourage you not to wait on this advice. So I've given you 3 really, really easy things that you can get started with right away to start losing weight this week. And I promise you, if you do all 3 of the things that I've shared with you today, you're guaranteed to lose weight. And if you continue doing them, you will continue losing weight. Get started today, because as soon as you start to build momentum with doing one thing, you're going to find it easier to do the next thing, because momentum is something that builds with the more action that we take. These things are so simple that absolutely anyone can do them, but most people won't do them. And they won't do them because they're waiting for this secret, or they're waiting for something that's fun and exciting, that is going to be the answer to their weight loss prayers. And unfortunately, that thing does not exist. The people who succeed in losing weight and then keeping it off for life without a lot of effort are the ones who get really, really good at implementing basic habits every single day, like the 3 that I've shared with you today. There really is no secret. There is just consistency. If you're ready to start losing weight while also enjoying your life, then you might like our other videos that we have filmed recently on this topic. I will link a playlist right here for you to check out if you're interested. And I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that it was really helpful for you, and I hope that you can start implementing these tips and start getting some amazing results for yourself. And I will see you in the next video.